Welcome back, staff. I want to start today with a discussion about why we must all become digital citizens. According to Chris Zook's Applied Educational Systems post, digital citizenship is the responsible use of technology, whether it is using the internet to complete a school assignment or a random Google search, or when engaging with others on social media sites. These tasks can be completed on a computer, a smartphone, or any other device used to digitally connect with other users. As part of our school improvement plan and to be in compliance with federal law, SVHS developed our digital citizenship curriculum in the summer of 2017. Some of those federal statutes include E-rate. According to the Federal Communications Commission and outlined in Mendoza, E-rate was authorized as part of the Telecommunications Act of 1996. The program provides discounts to schools to obtain affordable telecommunications and internet access. COPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, was signed into law in 1998, applies to the online collection of personal information by persons or entities under U.S. jurisdiction about children that are under the age of 13. The Children's Internet Protection Act is a bill that the United States Congress passed to limit children's exposure to pornography and explicit content online. It was signed into law on December 21st of 2000. The Smoky Valley Digital Citizenship Curriculum. We currently use a modified version of the Common Sense Education curriculum that is also utilized by the Harney Education Service District. We used Common Sense as a guide to build our course and focus on topics similar to Go Guardian's 5 Reasons to Teach Digital Citizenship and the themes outlined by the Los Angeles County Office of Education. These topics include web literacy. We talk about search strategies, search strings, certain operators to use, what punctuation works and doesn't, and root commands for those searches. We also talk about digital choices, the effects of cyberbullying, how to be an upstander instead of a bystander, the value of empathy so that you are not just worrying about yourself but caring for others online, and then online security, not giving out information like your home address or any other personal or financial information. We also talk about how your digital footprint can last forever. If you're applying for college or university or applying for a job, those people can look back at anything that you've put online and you could not be hired or not admitted based on that information. We also do a quick section on sexting or sending inappropriate pictures and information. One of the big parts of the digital citizenship that we focus on is fact-checking, figuring out fact versus fiction, what are reputable sites, what sites can you trust, and then how to read laterally, to look in depth at the article to see where it came from and who's responsible for it, not just looking at the name of it or reading the information and accepting it as fact. We also talk about the history of the internet and networking, how our school network works, how the other networks work and connect to each other. And then we talk about citing of sources and copyright online and how some of those you can use for educational purposes, but to make sure that you're giving credit to others for doing work and not trying to take credit for what they've done. During this time, we also review the USD 400 acceptable use policy. As educators, it is our responsibility to protect our students, but also to help them protect themselves and others when they are online. It is not merely a matter of compliance, but a moral imperative. Well, it's great to see all of you. I hope you have a good year. I look forward to working with each of you. Thanks.